Hello, everybody. I'm here from Teaching Channel. My name's Gretchen, and today we had a great day of filming at Enlace at Lawrence High School, where we are capturing great practices for teaching ELLs. This is part of a series of videos that we're doing at Teaching Channel that you'll be able to find in the fall, so we'll be so excited to share those lessons with you. But today we thought we'd give you a sneak peek, and we thought we would give a little classroom tour to show you some language supports that these teachers are using. So I am going to turn the camera around and let them introduce themselves, and then they're going to give you a tour of the space. So let's turn. Oh, there we go.
All right.
Okay, I'll squeeze them together a little closer. Okay.
Hi, so I'm Sarah Otto, and I'm working on the project from Confianza. We're so excited to be here at Enlace, one of the schools that we support here in Lawrence, Massachusetts. This is a fabulous team.
I'm Matt Clements. I'm the 9th grade U.S. history teacher here at Enlace.
And I'm Joe Burkett. I'm a 9th grade world history teacher here at Enlace.
And these two, they work together really closely in their planning. Today we're in Joe's classroom, and we're going to do a little tour so they can talk about the strategies that they engage students with that are visible in their classroom.
Nice.
So should we start over here by
Sure.
the objectives?
All right,
Tell
let's
us
do
what
it.
this is and how you use it.
Okay.
How do students use it?
So both the language and the content objective are always clear for the students every time they come into class. So this is kind of what they're expected to do when they enter. They all have a part of their binders where they write these down so that they know what the class will be about, what they can expect. And I always keep them in color-coded just to make sure that they, especially for newcomers, when they come to the classroom, they can always distinguish the two. And we have an agenda, just so they can kind of know what to expect for the day's lesson and start them off in the right way.
That's great, Joe. And you have the same thing in your classroom, right, Matt?
Yeah, every classroom at Enlace has the same thing.
Awesome. And then what else does every classroom have? And what you have right over here are other student tools.
So one thing that Joe has up here that I also have in my classroom is a word bank. So we usually have a word wall, which we'll show you in a sec. But then we also have a word bank in the front of the classroom, and it's usually tiered to Tier 1 vocabulary, Tier 2 vocabulary, Tier 3 vocabulary. So academic words, sort of middle-of-the-road words that can be used across different classes, and then more simple words that you might see in everyday language. And that happens in every class. Then we also have some sentence frames up here, which
Yep. So for instance, today we were talking about effects of climate change, and so this is for students to quickly glance at if they want to participate in class. They have these to start them off with. So these are mixed with other sentence frames that they have on, their papers and up on the board, but this is always here just as a base.
And as a teaser, I would love to say that yes, this conversation today about climate change was amazing, and I can't wait to be able to share the video with you guys because it was really it was great to see these newcomer students have such a thoughtful academic conversation.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it's a model United Nations unit, so it's going through different topics a couple times throughout the year. And I just want to point out something down here that maybe you could talk about, because I know it's something that you both do, and it's something that you do across the school for your English learners to learn at really high levels of content. So tell us about this structure here.
Okay, I'm going to get down here and show it a little bit.
Yeah, let's get down here.
So this is our CER strategy, or our Claim, Evidence, Reason strategy. And across the school, students will write in this way. They'll start off with their claim. They'll usually start off with a sentence starter, for example, in my opinion. Then they'll work on their evidence from the text. So they'll have according to paragraph 6 or according to the text, for example. And then they'll have their reasoning. And the sentence starter we use for that is this shows blah, blah, blah because blah, blah, blah. And Joe, do you want to talk about what these...
Sure. Actually, this is from a unit a while back in the year, probably like middle of the year, but I thought they were nice to look at, and plus this is and it kind of reminds students of this format. So it's kind of a building strategy that we have towards when we get to more higher level academic discussions. For instance, what is the most important effect of climate change? They know that they're making a claim and they're using evidence as a way to kind of provide a reasoned argument.
Right. It's so great because you're not watering down the content for the students. You're having them really reach grade level standards, but you're giving them these rich language supports so that they can really achieve at 9th grade content level. And along with that are a lot of kind of classroom cues and clues, because your students are beginners. They're new to the country, mostly immigrant population, right? Beginner ELLs. So even little language cues like this really help them learn the language of school. Can you talk a little bit about that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think, so for our students, they're all, so in Joe's class, or up here in the first and the second floor rather, all the students are in their very first year of learning English, or perhaps they're like almost their second year. And for my students, they're in their second or third year. And so signs like these just help them to sort of pick it up around the classroom, just pick up different language, pieces of sort of like everyday social language around the classroom, even something like this, just having the names, the days of the week just labeled around the classroom. Can really help. And also really help them to get used to the systems of being in an American school. A lot of our students are SLICE students who aren't coming from a formal education background. So things like this just can really help them to understand the different systems we have in the United States.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And a little SLIFE acronym, S-L-I-F-E,
what does that stand for?
It stands for Students with Limited or Interrupted Formal Education, and we have a second year program, which I work in, that works with those students. Yeah.
And he does such a good job.
Yes, and we saw a really great leadership seminar where they were debating in that class, and the topic was
Syrian Civil War.
yes. So light topics here at Enlace:
Yes.
climate change and Syrian Civil War.
And the kids get so engaged, they really get jazzed up about social justice issues and making a difference.
Yes, I saw that
Yeah,
for sure.
in fact, if you want to see the little Enlace sign, you can follow Enlace on Twitter. They're active,
Nice.
tweeting things constantly about their students and their fabulous teachers.
I'm also going to point out that this sign, these are our values that we have. We have a series of core values here, and a lot of schools do this, but I think this is particularly useful in history classes because students sort of connect what decisions leaders are making in history to different values. So the other day we were talking about how Harriet Tubman shows community and perseverance and courage. And so having these words just around and teaching them to newcomers can really help them to engage in that content even more.
Nice.
It's been useful too.
And if you're watching right now and you have ELL students or newcomers, say hi to us or ask a question. And we have these guys for a few more minutes, so feel free to join the conversation. Is there anything else that we should look at in the room before we go?
I'd love to share a couple things over here if you guys would like to talk about maybe the theme that you're working on.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then also the word wall.
This is just a large visual of our current unit. So students have been working on kind of why are global temperatures increasing, and so just for them to visually see kind of a map of what we're talking about. So earlier in the week, or I guess yesterday, we were talking about the causes of climate change, how they lead to carbon emissions and warmer global temperatures, and then the effects, which was the activity today. So this is going to be kind of long term. This will be up because at the end of May they're going to be participating in a Model UN where they are kind of talking about these and what is the most important to focus on from the perspective of the country that they represent. So this will be just a way for me to kind of visually recall what we've been talking about.
And it's for the whole unit, right? It's up.
Yeah, it's for the whole. It's for the whole unit.
Yeah, and that's something I would add too. Is I know that the academic language that's up there, the sentence frames are not just day to day, but over the whole unit, looking at the text structures.
Right. So those ones. These are basically the same idea. The word bank up there and the word bank here, organized in the same way. It's just if if a student if we're describing something and a student brings in a word from another class, I can just be like, that's a perfect word to use in this class as well. And we can put it right up on the word bank. And then this is to just have as a kind of a place for them to have a visual. It's bigger.
Yep.
Kind of more like, oh, I forgot what that word meant. And then they can look over here.
Yeah, it's great.
And again, you have that same environmental support
Yes.
for them in your room.
Same things downstairs. And then the same way with the everyday words, the academic vocabulary, and then world studies up here and U.S. history downstairs. And you can see it's getting pretty complex.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not exactly easy to have a symbol for these concepts.
Yeah.
But I would just say, it's so exciting because I work in a lot of different schools as a consultant, and it's not every day that we see these wonderful, rich language supports at the high school level. And certainly these are newcomers, but it's such a rich set of ideas that work for these students, but also as students progress through the language proficiency, right? Because by the end of the year, most of them are up at level 3, need a level 3. So it's something that's useful as a scaffold, right? Not just for newcomers, but it's a great. These are great strategies.
These would be new words and ideas for any ninth graders.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, environmental text is great for all learners,
Yeah.
including adults, right?
Yeah.
So we really want to model that. So great.
Well, we are so excited to be able to film here with you guys. It's been a pleasure today, and we will be back here tomorrow. We won't see Matt and Joe tomorrow, but we will be seeing more teachers, and we'll be coming live again from Enlace tomorrow afternoon. So tune in tomorrow and share with your friends and tell them to check out these videos later at Teaching Channel in the fall. So thank you so much for joining us. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.